Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the dressing room. They're having a clean match, okay? Good luck, God bless you. Le di la instrucción en el camerino. Vamos a una pelea limpia, que hagan el mejor. Dios los bendiga.
Liam Beefy Smith has never lost, has never been knocked down. Alvarez has only lost once. That majority decision loss to perhaps the best to ever lace up the gloves in Floyd Mayweather. They collide tonight for the WBO Junior Middleweight Championship of the World.
Canelo.
Todd Grisham, Sergio Mora, AT&T Stadium. Scheduled for 12 rounds. Alvarez wearing the dark blue trunks. Liam Smith in the gray and neon yellow. You'll see that Beefy wears the word autism on the back of his trunks. That's because his sister suffers from that disease. He dedicates his performance to her tonight. Her name is Holly. As expected, Canelo going right to the body.
With speed. I love seeing that. Canelo punching with speed this early in the fight. Usually he puts a lot behind those punches and it wears them out the later this fight goes, but he's punching with speed and activity.
What should concern Canelo the most about Liam Smith?
Going into the later rounds, Smith keeps his hands up really nicely, and he's a pressure fighter, especially the more comfortable he gets in there. So he's a pressure fighter that has a tight defense. You don't want to wear yourself out with a boxer like that. You want to time yourself and save your energy and save your reserves to close off strong, especially in a championship fight.
Good left hand for Canelo.
But it was partially blocked by Smith. So that you're going to see a lot of that right now because he keeps his hands up, especially this early in the fight. Canelo should just concentrate on touching them gloves and then going downstairs hard to the body. But you got to concentrate on speed right now and not power if you're Canelo.
What a moment this must be for both of these fighters and for boxing in general. Alvarez and Smith started fighting in tiny little venues in their respective countries. They moved up to arenas, and now they're in a football stadium in Arlington, Texas, Sergio.
This is as big as it gets. So, you're fighting on the big stage now. It's time to shine.
A lot of pressure on Canelo. He has risen to the occasion so many times before. Just look at his resume. He's beaten the best of the best. But tonight, Beefy Smith provides his own challenges, and Liam and his family believe they've got the formula to upset Alvarez here tonight.
Not only has Canelo faced those challenges, but the way he's taking care of business, those scary knockouts versus James Kirkland and Amir Khan, they're just brutal knockout victories, knockout of the year type shots.
I was in Vegas for that knockout of Amir Khan, and it was scary. A one-punch shot that knocked Khan unconscious. In fact, Alvarez got down on his knees to check on his opponent, make sure he was okay. 10 seconds to go here in round one.
Time.
Breathe. ¿Cómo lo sentiste, hijo? What'd you feel? It's good? All right.
Es lento,
He's slow, huh?
Es lento.
He's slow.
Tiene un movimiento peligroso.
He's got one dangerous movement. When you throw that left, he's catching it. You jab him and he wants to go in to get that uppercut. He's got a good uppercut, good left hand. Don't announce that jab. Don't fall asleep on it. Just because you hit him 1, 2, 3 times, maybe he's going to move and he's going to want to get in and get you. Work that jab.
Te cansó.
Liam Smith defending his title for the third time. He won it in October 2015, has made 2 successful title defenses. But this, the toughest fighter he's ever been in the ring with, no doubt about it. As Canelo, true to form, works downstairs and then comes upstairs and is now starting to be a little bit more active.
Mixing it up nicely. That's what happens when you have that type of guard, that earmuff defense, I like to call it, of Smith. You give your opponent a target to hit, and as long as you're blocking them, if you're Canelo Alvarez, you're going to keep punching away. Punching at the gloves, the elbows, the shoulders, forearms, whatever. It accumulates points. See, but that's what Beefy Smith does really well. He lets you get off on their shots, but he's going to come right back with that tight defense and pressure you, and little by little, he'll start breaking opponents down.
How important is it for Liam to be the aggressor in this fight, considering Canelo loves to go forward so much?
Well, you got to be a smart aggressor, and I think he's doing that early right now. We're going to see how he does it in the middle rounds. You know, you let your man get off as long as you're blocking with a tight defense if you're Smith. And then once Alvarez kind of gets a little bit tired with those combinations, then you come forward and get your own. You got to mix your combinations up like that. See, that wasn't that hard right there by Canelo Alvarez. It was more hand speed. He didn't really torque his body into those shots. That's what really takes the conditioning and the legs out of you. So you got to mix up the power and speed. Just because you're given a target doesn't mean you need to take the target every time.
Oh, sube la mano, sube la mano, sube la mano.
If you're wondering where the Beefy nickname came from, Liam said, my dad just made it up. Said I was kind of a fatter kid, so he just started calling me Beefy because all his brothers had nicknames and he needed one too. And now he's got Canelo up against the ropes.
Right now, Canelo digging into those beefy ribs, that's for sure, because he's digging downstairs. Even when they're blocked, those shots still get your attention. It makes you dig in your own elbow into your ribs.
You do have to like the pressure, though, that Smith is putting on Alvarez so far.
That's his style right there. That's how he's remained undefeated. It's a steady pressure. It's not really a power pressure. It's just he's always on you, making you think. It's very intelligent. You know, it's the body that's telling you, coming forward, throwing punches, and he's an excellent body puncher, Liam Smith.
Nice success so far in round two here from Beefy Smith. The first time he's ever fought outside of the UK.
Time.
Okay? Yeah? All right. Don't be sometimes you're boxing really well, all right? But sometimes don't be Billy Big Balls. Stay in there, catching, all right? Okay? Lovely shots on the ropes, right hands over. But it's look at a possum on the way in on that left hook. Keep it right tight to your chin.
What's that on the side?
Yeah. Okay? But don't forget, dip the shoulder and bring the right hook over, then the left uppercut, yeah? Always be aware as soon as you...
You see Smith going downstairs just to land that jab upstairs. They're both waiting to catch and counter. Very smart on both their parts.
Second so. Yeah.
That round easily could have been scored for Liam Smith. By the way, his brother's nicknames, Paul Smith is Smiga, Stephen Smith is Swifty, and Callum Smith is Mundo. The four brothers who said they used to race home after school to box in their living room before their mom got home to tell them to stop. That's where they honed their craft, and it led to this. A mega fight against Alvarez.
Smith doing the smart thing right there, not staying on the ropes. Alvarez was about to unleash on his combinations. He got away before that could happen.
How does Canelo adjust to the pressure of Smith? He didn't seem to handle it all that well in round two.
I would love to see him jab a little bit more in body shots. Body shots is going to do it because when you're fighting with a boxer that keeps his hands so tightly and his elbows dug into his ribs, you just got to unleash on the arms and dig away at the body.
Much expected of Canelo here tonight, due to what he's done recently, including that one-punch knockout over Amir Khan.
And James Kirkland, I mean, they're devastating punches. And like I touched on earlier, Todd, when you get those knockout of the year type knockouts, you get accustomed to them, and you think they're going to happen every time you land a clean shot. But when you're dealing with an undefeated fighter like Liam Smith, who's been there, done that, expect to go into the later rounds and maybe even the championship rounds.
Left hook lands for Canelo on the jaw of Smith. Since his lone defeat to Mayweather, Alvarez has beaten Alfredo Angulo by TKO, Irislandi Lara by a decision, James Kirkland, that highlight reel knockout, Miguel Cotto, which really made people believe that Canelo could indeed be one of the all-time greats from Mexico, and then the last fight, the knockout over Amir Khan.
Those are power punchers, Olympians, fast champions. I mean, he's fought a little bit of everything and passed the test, Canelo Alvarez.
Watch your head, watch your head.
$51,240 fans here tonight in Arlington as these two have shown up so far in round 3. Pretty even fight so far.
Ah!
Deep breath. You see, you're catching him with more punches now, all right? Now be careful because he wanted to catch you with that uppercut. You felt it? Yes.
Great. Paco.
There's that body shot. Came in with that jab, set it up downstairs just to land that uppercut. But here comes Liam Smith with an uppercut of his own. Good back and forth action by both these fighters.
Alvarez was lobbed a lot of criticism before this fight, saying he's avoiding Triple G. We thought he'd be fighting Gennady Golovkin tonight. Do you agree with the decision by Canelo and his promoter, his trainer, to take this fight instead?
Everyone wants to see the best fight the best, so I would love to see him fight against Golovkin. We love to see two monsters go at it, two trains colliding. But if you want to get something, a respectable opponent, undefeated fighter like Smith makes sense.
Plus, Canelo would pick up a world title, which is always nice to have. Good body shot there. He stepped into that one.
Canelo really digging into those body shots now. He sees that Smith keeps his guard high, leaving them ribs open at time. And here comes Smith right back downstairs, getting shots of his own downstairs.
Smith so good at throwing the jab or throwing a right hand and getting his hands back to block.
Because he had that amateur pedigree. He has that background, and that's how you score points as an amateur. You don't really concentrate on the body that much, but you concentrate on clean punches and your hands up. The amateur scoring system is totally different than pros, but you can see Smith with that pedigree.
Canelo much more active here in this round.
Okay, ready, stop. Nobody throw.
Smith has got a great support staff. Matthew Macklin, his manager, former middleweight contender and world title challenger. His trainer, Joe Gallagher, the Ring Magazine 2015 Trainer of the Year. He's also got Scott Quigg, former WBA Super Bantamweight champion.
And that's why he's undefeated. Todd, I mean,
good
look,
right
he has
hand
the goods
there as well.
He has the goods in the ring, and he has the right people outside the ring.
Talk about a whirlwind, though, fighting in the United States for the first time, outside of the UK for the first time, and over 50,000 fans in a football stadium, roaring with every punch landed from Canelo. And Sergio, we know as Canelo starts to work the body again, the judging in Texas historically has not been on the up and up. You know that better than anybody.
No, it is not. And you know what? There's been a lot of controversy with the judging here, and they usually support the favorite. We know who the favorite is here. So, yeah, you touched on it earlier, Todd. Coming down here to the States is great. And coming in, and everything's bigger in Texas, but sometimes everything's a little bit more favored towards the A side in Texas as well.
And there's no doubt that Canelo Alvarez is the A side. Sergey Kovalev, the crusher.
Can you ever imagine Canelo and that man right there going at it?
He's too big. How about Andre Ward?
Now that's a possibility. That's one of my favorite fighters right there.
That's a future Hall of Famer. Kovalev versus Ward, a tantalizing prospect.
How about Canelo versus Ward?
Canelo versus anybody.
You have to be careful with that guard, yeah? Keep your guard up. Jab, jab, jab. Strong jab to the body and up top. Look for this one. For this one, too. If you're going to stay in the ropes, try blocking, flex your waist, and lift them up with uppercuts and hooks.
Second zone. Second zone. Second zone. Second zone. Stay back. Hey.
Eddie Reynoso in Canelo's corner wants him to continue digging to the body and pick him up with uppercuts, which is exactly the success that Alvarez has been having.
What are your impressions through the first 4 rounds?
Well, I like the way that Smith has been absorbing the shots. He hasn't really been caught with anything cleanly yet, of course, but that's his style. He keeps his guard up. He knows how to block punches, and then he comes right back to get his own punches in and get respect. That's how he's remained undefeated.
Hey.
And he's a sneaky puncher.
Nice jab. Snap Canelo's head back again.
No, Smith is a sneaky puncher. He's a smart, sneaky puncher. He knows how to get him in. That's exactly why he was successful as an amateur. But in the pro game, it's more about how much oomph you get behind those shots. You got to really dig into those shots and get respect from your opponent.
Nice uppercut again from Canelo. He loves that punch almost as much as the left hook to the body. Good flurry from Alvarez.
And that's how you're going to open up a tight guard, by speed. It's not going to be really power because Smith is absorbing those power shots good. It's going to be speed and angles.
And now he's got Canelo against the ropes and lands a right hand.
And that's what I love to see about Smith. Anytime you get something off on him, he's going to come right back and get it.
Double uppercut. You don't see that too often.
Not at all. I was about to say the same thing. Very dangerous to throw an uppercut, and to double it up, it's just doubling the danger.
Yeah, you're not telling your students at your gym, Sergio, to throw 2 lead uppercuts back to back.
Unless that student is you. Absolutely. And look at that steady pressure by Liam Smith.
No.
That's how he breaks down opponents. It's not really physical pressure, it's mental pressure. It's both actually, but mental pressure. He's always coming at you, so there's always an imposing a figure coming right at you, and then he has great combinations as well.
I will say this, the bookies in Vegas list Alvarez as about a 10-1 favorite. He does not look like that so far in this fight against a very game Smith. Closer than many people probably would have expected.
Well, Canelo may be a big favorite here in Vegas to win the fight, but how is he going to win it?
Go ahead.
Because right now it looks like Liam Smith is doing really well, fighting the stronger fighter back, getting him up against the ropes, getting some good combinations. Is he going to get the knockout, Canelo? Is the favorite going to get the knockout?
And now it's Canelo fighting back off the ropes. Good stuff here from Smith, taking the fight to Alvarez.
Okay.
haven't got much legs left here. I know we're in round 5 gone now, mate. Yeah. Watch the right uppercut, son. Watch the right uppercut, yeah? Touch up. Eh? No, he's mate. But just touch, and really drive him in, son. Put him in his legs to go already after 5, 7 to go. But don't be staying to it. And sometimes just go turn and smother him. But watch that uppercut, all right?
The last words spoken to Smith at the end of that round, watch for the uppercut.
Yeah, they want Smith to touch. They want him to touch Canelo's gloves and then bang away at the body. And with Canelo, they want him to touch and throw the uppercuts inside. So both corners with great respect for the other, they want him to touch their way in to land the heavy, harder shots.
Both of these fighters so durable, neither man has been knocked down. But you can see there's a slight cut over the right eye of Smith.
There you go, and Smith following the instructions from his corner.
Oh, nice left hook there.
Yeah, but he started by touching him. He's touching the gloves of Alvarez, and then he landed that big shot right there. And back comes Alvarez.
This is way more competitive than most boxing observers thought it would be, Sergio.
I thought Smith was going to be in here because he's game, he's undefeated. He's already been in these championship levels.
And he comes from a fighting family. He says, listen, if I can fight in the living room with my bigger brothers for 15, 20 years growing up, I can fight with Canelo Alvarez.
Oh yeah, I grew up with 3 brothers myself, and there's a lot of fights in that living room, I can tell you.
Nice right hand from Smith, and now comes those uppercuts from Alvarez, but Smith right back on it. Could we possibly be seeing the upset of the year in the making? If Smith can continue fighting like this, he's certainly got a chance. What is Canelo doing wrong, if anything, that's allowing Smith to back him up against the ropes like this and unload?
Well, I think he's catching his wind because Alvarez, he tried to take Smith out with heavy shots early in the fight. He started off throwing big shots, power shots, and that's what I said earlier. It looks good for the judges, but you got 12 rounds to go. You got to alternate that power because it will wind you out. So I think Liam Smith is taking advantage of the fact that Alvarez may be a little bit winded and needs to catch his breath.
And remember, Smith is the champion, WBO junior middleweight.
Okay, stop. Hey.
And that was a cheap shot by Smith. I think he'll even admit to it.
Hey, calm down, okay? Come on, Canelo.
They tell him to calm down, but Sergio, he can't afford to calm down in this fight. He's got to fight that way.
He can. He's bleeding. He's getting backed up. Big shots coming right at him. He has to come forward. He has to get his respect.
Yep.
What's up, champ? You okay? No, I know he is, mate. I know he is. Listen, you started the round lovely. Touching. Not every shot has to be a home run, son. Just keep him touching when he's wanting to go for a breather. As it pulls off, just touch. Watch him walking. You want a right hands or left hooks, all right? When you push him to the ropes then and he came at you, just step back, let him fall short and counter, okay? Well, keep your straight arrows going, son. His hands are down here. 1, 2, 3, slip, right hand, left hand, all right? And you got to every...
Solamente estás ahí con la cintura. Alternalo.
Mix it up with flex your waist and combination.
Más izquierda, más ya.
More
más
left,
recto.
more jab, more straight shots.
Second zone. Oh.
The Alvarez family sitting ringside, Sergio, and they are very, very animated. But right now, looking a bit nervous. How nervous should they be?
Well, they should be nervous because they have an undefeated, very stubborn fighter coming right at you. And you know what's interesting, Todd, because both corners have similar instructions to their fighter. You got to set up the big power shots. Don't go for home runs. You set up with singles and doubles and triples, and that's how you get your other man to wear down.
Although he's only 26 years old, Alvarez very experienced, turned pro at 15, has been fighting for 11 years, and this is his 11th world title fight. He's 9-1 entering this contest in those world title fights. Five of those 9 wins coming by way of knockout. And again, Smith has Canelo backed against the ropes.
Go ahead.
Oh, and a big body shot, and down goes Liam Smith for the first time in his professional career.
4,
It was the body shot and a right hook upstairs.
7, 8. Are you all right?
And that completely changes the complexion of this fight. A wounded warrior now, ripe for the picking for Canelo Alvarez. One of the best body punchers in the game has sent Smith down. Can he finish him off?
Smith got caught being a little bit over-aggressive right there. He got hit to the body, but it was a right hook upstairs that really put him down.
This place is buzzing. They came to see a knockout. They've already got one knockdown. Can Alvarez close the show?
Okay, stop.
For what it's worth, Smith seems to be recovering pretty well. But a body shot lingers for a long time.
Yes, it does. And it's not that he still doesn't, he shook off those cobwebs. It's when you're as experienced as Smith, you know how to hide it well. And I think that's the case here. He knows how to fight when he's hurt.
Nice job defensively so far for Smith since the knockdown. Ten seconds to go. Can Smith get out of the round? He's trying to fight back here. Great resolve being shown by Smith.
What a gritty fighter, Liam Smith.
Let's go.
Okay? I thought it was a body shot for the and the bullets. Okay? Yeah. Good. All right, he's just shot his ball there. He's pumping in hard. All right?
We've never seen this before. Smith on the canvas.
There's that right hook, and boom, that body shot downstairs. But it was the right hook that actually did it. It was 2 consecutive right hooks that put Liam Smith down.
Seconds out.
And there's the reaction from the family.
Oh yeah, they want to see more of that.
This is the 50th professional fight of Canelo Alvarez's career, and so far it has been a vintage Canelo-type performance. Worked the body. Well, he softened Smith up. Can he put him down for good? What changes does Smith need to make at this stage?
He wants to get away from that right hand. I think Canelo's been having success with that right hand. So he's been doing a good job keeping them hands up, but the pressure, he's been putting a little bit too much pressure on Canelo, and that's when he opens himself up. Maybe box a little bit more. Get out of these, get the cobwebs out, get your legs going, fight behind the jab. It's Canelo that's utilizing the jab.
Nice uppercut. Haven't seen that punch in a while.
See, you can control a fight with the jab. You can go upstairs and downstairs with it. And finally, when you back your man up, just like Liam Smith is doing here, then you can unleash with the power shots and the combination punching.
How about Smith? Off the canvas and back into the fight. He knows it's the opportunity of a lifetime.
And he's fighting like it. I love those jabs downstairs like that to the body.
And right in the sternum with the final one.
Oh, yeah. They don't look like much, but you keep stabbing your man down there in that solar plexus area. He'll wind you out.
Canelo with a couple jabs of his own, trying to find a way in around that tough guard, and another body shot. He's down for a second time.
Late reaction by Smith, but that shot really hurt.
5, 6, 7, 8. All right.
Just when you thought, hey, this might not be over, it might be over. Maybe one more time to the body, and Smith could be out of here.
Body shots, don't forget, that pain lingers, and you could see it. Smith backing up, blocking that right side of his body. It only takes 1 or 2 more shots, Todd.
Okay?
Yeah?
Just under his elbow.
Roll back in the center, so we'll back.
Right, okay. Deep breath. Liam.
Are you okay?
Here we have Canelo fighting against the ropes, that double uppercut just to set up that shot right there, right on the solar plexus. Late reaction, but painful reaction by Smith.
And Sergi, I don't care how tough you are, when Canelo Alvarez hits you with that shot, you're most likely going down.
Canelo or anyone else, body shots make cowards of us all.
How much more can Liam Beefy Smith take? Round number 9, scheduled for 12, Dallas Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Over 50,000 fans in attendance. We know why they're here. They want to see Canelo finish Smith. Again with that left hook to the body. Smith winces in pain. Will this be the final hurrah for Beefy?
And this is where Canelo got them body shots and them right hooks in when his back was against the ropes. But Liam Smith backing up Canelo, not being undeterred here, not afraid.
A gutsy performance for sure for Smith. Probably won a few rounds. Certainly got Alvarez's attention with his body work. But it's hard to go body shot for body shot with Canelo Alvarez. And where's that jab that was working so well for Smith earlier?
He's covering up them ribs. That's the reason he's not really unleashing that jab or them punches for that matter.
Smith turns Canelo's back against the ropes. There's a jab and a 1-2.
We see some shoulder rolls and head movement by Canelo.
I think Canelo's willing to get hit a couple times just to have that body open up a little bit. Oh, and there it is! A be a charm.
4, 5.
It's over. Canelo Alvarez, the WBO junior middleweight champion of the world.
What a shot to the body. It was like a cannon. Boom, downstairs. That pain lingers, Todd. It wasn't going away. Canelo reminded him of that body shot and that pain.
His 50th fight ends in a world championship. Canelo now 48-1-1 with 34 wins by knockout. Sergio, I think Smith fought about as well as he could tonight.
Undefeated champion, fought like one. No shame there. But Alvarez dug down to that body, did not relent. And you know what? 51,000 fans, they came to see a knockout by that man right there. They probably didn't expect it to be downstairs to the body, but they got it.
Alvarez, most likely the most popular Mexican in the world nowadays. He carries that flag with great pride and that responsibility with great pride. And they are certainly proud of him. Is Triple G next? That's the fight everyone wants to see. Alvarez and Golovkin.
Touched them with that left hook. To land that left hook right there. Smith wincing in pain. And when a fighter goes down like that, wincing in pain, he normally doesn't get up. Boom. Right there, those shots. I tell you, Todd, you do not forget about that pain.
And that was all she wrote. Smith, who had never been down, was dropped 3 times by Alvarez as Canelo continues his ascension towards greatness. He said he wants to be as big as Muhammad Ali one day. Who's to say he can't do it?
Everything's bigger in Texas, and that man right there with a big performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes, 28 seconds of round number 9. The winner by knockout victory and new WBO light middleweight champion of the world, Canelo